Well, Don, my name's Steve Jones.
Hi, Steve.
I'm
Nice
president
to meet
of PaveTech, and today, this week we're launching the new Hardscape channel. And the Hardscape channel is a social media concept where we're getting contractors and dealers and people involved really in the field as a place to share information.
Okay.
And what we're doing here at the Green Industries Expo show and H&A, Hardscape North America, is taking some interviews and posting them up there so we can learn a little bit more about you, about what you want to do with your business and how you got where you're at today.
Very good.
So you're with Complete Masonry Supplies,
Yep.
and you're in Bloomington, Indiana. What? How many locations do you have?
We got one location.
And how?
Mom and pop operation. Good operation.
Okay, great. Is family involved?
Family involved. Me and my wife. Absolutely. It's good and bad and all that. But yes.
You'd have to ask my wife about that same issue. How many employees do you have?
Carry 6.
6.
Yes, sir.
Full time? Do you have seasonal stuff?
Seasonal drivers sometimes.
Okay. All right. And what's the scope of your business in masonry supplies? So I'm going to guess just from the name that you're doing, you know, the brick and mortar guys and.
Yeah, we're doing everything from masonry to hardscapes. We do concrete block, brick, concrete pavers, brick pavers. So kind of that whole masonry wrap. Even concrete a little bit.
Flat work? I mean,
yeah, flat work, rebar. Not ready mix. Generally the supplies, rebar, wire mats. Those are, you know, anything to do with that concrete or brick industry.
When did you break into the hardscape? When did you add hardscapes to your masonry business?
I actually worked for the largest lumber company in Bloomington, Indiana. Could not get my lumber boss to do hardscapes. When that business went out, we opened up our business, and then immediately in the first year started looking at hardscapes.
Oh, well, that's great.
Now a very large part of our business.
So percentage-wise, hardscapes over masonry?
Well, due to the economy, it's even better, believe it or not. Due to the economy, the hardscapes has come up, and the masonry side goes down a little bit due to non-many starts of houses we're having.
Sure.
I would probably say we're running still 70-30. 70 of it's still masonry side of it, being that we still sell a lot of block and brick, and then the rest of it's hardscapes.
Okay, excellent. Is there anything that you do internal to your business to help contractors do a better job or learn how to do hardscapes in a better way?
Training is huge. Training is a big part when we do winter time. We do everything from training and then sponsoring the product, showing the product, telling them how to put the product in. And then, you know, we started last year having a nice dinner with just all the hardscapers and trying to tighten that business up with them a little bit and let them know what's going on in the world. So training is huge. We went all the way to the point of having DOT come in to make sure they understood how to run their vehicles and whether they had the right license plates on their trailers and everything, which has become a good asset for all those.
It gets expensive when you don't do that right.
That's very true. That's very true.
Have you ever heard of the School for Advanced Segmental Paving?
Absolutely. We have a couple of our hardscapers that's been to the school.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What's been their feedback to you from attending?
Their feedback was actually the technical side and doing it just that little bit better. You know, actually going that one step further that they were getting from the manufacturers. The manufacturers will teach you, but they don't take it further than their product. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, we've had great response out of it. We've offered it to guys. We had some flyers in the store, and it's worked well.
Well, great. Well, thanks for promoting that. That's one of our it's one of our efforts that seems to be so difficult to promote in a tough economy.
Sure.
Everybody's worried about the expenses.
Absolutely.
Now, you've given me the history and stuff. You told me about the hardscaping. How often do you guys come to this show, the Green Industries Expo?
Probably for the last 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Now, H&A has been part of this for the last 2 years. And so, has the value increased for you because of H&A?
Absolutely. I mean, when we add more product line, we add more value to our customer, and that's actually what we was able to do when we come even last year, was to really look at maybe some new products that we weren't selling.
Okay.
So absolutely.
So you added things,
we added a couple new products, and then again this year we brought one of our landscapers and hardscapers with us to you know, open the show up to them a little bit more too.
Fabulous. Sure. Fabulous. And so how many people do you have at the show?
We actually 3 of us today.
3 of us, okay.
Yeah.
And what can you say is what would you like to see changed, improved, modified for your benefit?
For our benefit, the hardscape side is still fairly small. You know, and it's growing, it's better. We'd like to see more of that. Tools actually is is still a key point of that. It's not advertised as well. So we definitely would like to see that part grow.
Sure, okay. Where do you see your growth in your business with hardscapes? I know we see a lot of the big thing is like pizza ovens and outdoor fireplaces and prefabricated stuff, and that's all pretty neat. But from my perspective, personally, don't know how many of those does a guy sell. I mean, and how big an area is that going to truly grow for it, especially a dealer who's got to stock that stuff?
Well, we've been fortunate enough, at least with our dealer, that we display it, and we do a good job of displaying, which helps sell that product.
Yeah.
We do not have to stock that product.
Excellent.
I see it as a very specialty item for the very upper end that we're going to sell. I still think quality of product is where we got to be. Availability is always something that you struggle with, but quality of product for our landscapers has got to be where we got to be.
Well, with quality, I mean, obviously there's a lot of companies offering product in the marketplace, and so you make your buying decisions based on quality versus price?
I make it off of, definitely it starts with quality. The rest of it actually has to do something with location of manufacturing. It costs a lot to freight across the United States nowadays, so that has a lot to do with it. Partnership. I got to have a good partnership with those folks. I really do. I mean, we depend on each other. So I think partnership's got to be there. They're going to help us teach our hardscapers and landscapers. They're going to have a good product package correctly. I mean, all that goes into having a great partnership that's working well. Sure.
It's always nice to have the planes taking off at the end of the runway.
You just talk a little louder.
So, what? I think I'm going to get back to the question I asked you before. Is what better things can we do to help not only you, the dealer, the distributor, who's an important conduit for assembling all the stuff for the local customers, but what can we do for your contractor customers? What can GIE, what can H&A do? What can the exhibitors do? What can we provide that would make it better and more valuable for your attendance here?
You know, I would say good free education.
Free?
No, and it doesn't have to be, you know, that sounds like a harsh word, but, you know, I did have a couple of gentlemen that talked about coming down and doing more certification, taking more classes, and they go with the economy the way it was. That's just something that they couldn't afford to do. So maybe not the free idea, but maybe there needs to be some kind of package put together that was a little more reasonable for some of these guys to be able to get better education.
Sure.
Better education not for just the owner, but better education for every guy that puts it on the ground.
Well, and that's what we do at our school, because, again, the owner probably knows. The problem is, just a second,
he's low. Wow.
At least it wasn't the Air National Guards taking off like they did earlier.
I bet.
What we find is the owner, the contractor owner, usually has a pretty darn good idea on what he's doing.
Absolutely.
The only thing we usually can help him with is helping him a little bit with his efficiencies. But we also find from our perspective, is that they're not teachers. They don't have that, and it's only a small part of what they practice on a day-to-day basis. Yep. And by helping them become better teachers and learning to pass down the information that they have and getting it across to them, has been a big effort on our part.
I think that we still find that though we find some great landscapers, we might not find only the best business people. So I think educating them on how to run their business a little more leaner, a little more financially stable would also be a great option.
Well, I'm sure in this economy you've probably lost a little bit of money to some customers who've gone under.
Sure, I think most people have.
We all have.
But I get it, and I think that you find out that having great customer service and a great relationship with everybody that you sell to, those doors are open to talk about that instead of not.
For sure.
Sure.
And we you know, I hate to see guys that are so good at what they do fail because there's some business practices they didn't know.
Absolutely.
And I think when I was a contractor many years ago, my failure was I didn't understand business.
Yep.
I was a good technician, I was a craftsman, I was all that, but I was not a good businessman.
Right.
And maybe today people still think that. And that's probably true. It's probably true. But no one ever offered me. No one came forward and said, you know, here's what you need to do for accounting, and here's what you need.
Nobody teaches you.
And I felt all alone. And also, it's also, from my perspective, I was almost embarrassed to ask.
Sure. Try to be a outside masonry salesman and open up your own masonry business, and and when the economy is still good.
Yeah.
And grow that fast. There's just nobody that teaches you how to do that. And I think that's a huge part of education for all of our hardscapers. Absolutely.
Well, listen, Don, thank you
Thank
very
you,
much
sir.
for stopping by
Thanks.
today, and
Nice to meet
you'll be able to look at
Still
this on
keep buying
YouTube.
those tools.
Well, that's great. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good day.